Why we gotta clap?
So I can actually edit this better.
You don't have to edit.
Yes. So you gonna do it?
Don't edit.
And remember, from this
Just-
point on,
No
no
touching.
touching the mic.
Well, nobody touches the mic in
Banned.
our group.
banned from touching mics.
I've never touched a mic in my life, Hunter.
You were banned from touching mics at like episode 3, and then at some point you just started doing it again. I don't know.
I like
why.
to live life on the edge. Just push boundaries, innovation. Safety laws were made to stop innovation.
So you were saying about tanks.
Well, basically the idea is small, closed spaces. Fuck no. I'm not going on those.
But you are claustrophobic, though.
A little bit. Like, it's not really an issue if, like, I'm in an elevator or something. But, like, if I have to stay for an extended period of time in something that is too small where I can't stretch my legs or walk around, fuck, nah.
So you're saying you don't want to go see the Titanic?
Fuck no. No.
How much would someone need to pay you to go see the Titanic?
It'd have to be a lot. It'd have to be, like, life-changing money. Because,
It's gonna be
my
a life-changing trip.
Because my life may end. So
Never be the
at least
same
I'll
again.
leave my family set, I guess.
So yours is close spaces, mine is heights and water. What are
I
y'all's?
still can't get over the water part.
Dude, okay, it's not water. It's not that I'm scared of water. I
No, you
don't
don't
like
shower.
being submerged in water.
You know, taking a bath?
Yeah. My head. I don't like my head being submerged in water.
That's the best part about taking a bath. Like, you lie in the bath and you just do that thing where you slide
And
down.
your ears are
and
like-
yeah!
But that's fine because my
perfect.
face can be like there, and it's fine. Or like if I
This
put
man
my-
is like a tiger or something.
no, because you're missing the point. I'm fine going underwater
Yeah?
when it's my choice.
Ah.
So you don't like to go
I
to the
don't
beach
like
with
being
us?
forcibly submerged underwater.
So, no to waterboarding.
yeah, no waterboarding for me, please.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was just
Check out
making sure my
yeah.
mic's on.
Nice.
Yeah, y'all's look good.
What is my fear?
While you think about your fear, I read something that's totally messed up about waterboarding once, but it was just like the sort of meme where it said something like, waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay sounds really fun when you don't know what it is. Just think about water aboard Guantanamo Bay. Oh, that sounds
that's
good.
What is it?
That's it.
What is it?
What's waterboarding?
Yeah, what is that?
You don't know what that is?
No.
Ah,
It's when they
that's
put like
when they put a
rag over your
a
face.
rag over your head and then they pour water over.
So
Oh,
basically,
waterboarding.
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
What?
Waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Yes.
What was he talking
And
about?
I'm saying waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, what is
sounds fun.
No, what is that though? Oh, you're talking about waterboarding.
That was get this man out. Can we clap again?
Sorry, I just can't understand your accent. I'm sorry.
Can we clap and cut this out?
I could see it coming and I was cringing.
No ways. This is my fear.
I was hoping you would get it a little bit faster.
No way. Hunter, with you, when I can never know if you're trying to lead to a joke or you just really just don't
Everything.
get it.
I'm always leading to a joke. I always get it.
So,
Always get it?
I always get it. If I
Welcome.
don't get it, it's because I'm pretending not to get it.
to episode 14.
Wow.
Wow.
We must have skipped a week.
Yeah, I was thinking this 13.
Is it 14?
13.
Oh, 13. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to change the topic.
No, wait, we're talking about fears. What's your fear?
I guess getting buried alive.
Wow.
But that's the
think-
same thing, though. That's
Yeah.
the same type of claustrophobia.
No,
I think it's specifically-
that's
Specifically getting
very
buried alive.
specific
But
one.
if you go in a submarine, you're being buried alive in water.
At least if it's run by Ocean Gate.
So is it like you're scared of like someone like kidnapping you and burying you alive?
I guess. It's just, it stems from, I watched an episode of CSI from like 15 years ago.
Miami, New York.
All of
Doesn't
them.
matter.
Vegas.
They all had
the normal
one.
And like, the guy got buried alive, and I couldn't watch it.
Really?
I mean,
like seeing it?
I was 8.
Oh.
That makes a lot of sense.
You know
So
what?
you've got trauma.
I also have another weird fear that also stems from a movie. I don't know if you guys ever watched Black Hawk Down.
What?
Black Hawk Down.
Okay, nice. Gotcha.
So there's a part where somebody gets shot in the leg, but it hits his artery. And then like they try to grab it and everything, and they're like trying to like stabilize it, and at some point it slips and the blood just skirts on everyone. Since then, I have a fear of anyone touching any part where my arteries are meant to be.
That imagery you created was so visceral.
Yeah.
Your whole motion and movement. What?
I'm telling you, like this part and these parts, like
You like it
stay
when I
out.
touch you there.
Only you, baby. So
He
what
knows
about
he's
you?
in a safe space with you.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Always, I consent, baby.
What about you, Brendan?
Mine, I don't know. My fear for the longest of time was anything near my eyes, and it's still today, all because of Final Destination.
Is that like the shards of glass going in the eye?
No, that was basic, but I can't remember. I think it was number 5 or number 4, but they went for eye surgery, and I think it was a woman, and she was lying down, and they started the eye surgery, and the doctor gets called out, and the doctor sort of turns and ends up hitting the laser machine thing that pushes the power, and it goes from like 10% to 99%, and then she runs out. Another laser that's working on the woman, being a 99%, just burns her eye out, essentially. But she's still alive. And eventually she's like shaking and trying to get herself off because she's tied down, and she breaks free and her eyeball falls out. But she can't see for shit, so she's walking and she steps on her eyeball and falls out the window. And I was like,
movie is this?
I think I've
Final
seen that.
Destination.
It sounds
Destination.
familiar.
And I was like,
Stupid ass
I was
movies.
I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Are they final? I've actually never seen one of them.
Oh,
Are
God.
they like parody movies? Like are they
No.
like scary movie?
No, it's not.
I mean,
parody,
they
but
aren't
like,
supposed to be, but kind
yeah,
of
they-
end up being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Literally, the only thing I know about Final Destination is the log coming out of the.
Yeah,
Is that the classic
that's
one?
the premise. It's billed as a horror, but it's not your typical jump scare, spooky story horror.
It's just people
about
dying.
It's suspense.
ways.
Yeah, it's because you're
Suspense,
waiting
yeah.
for them to die. Like, and you're just expecting it to happen at some point,
Yeah.
but then it suddenly happens at another point.
That's why I
Was
can't.
this-
That's why I can't go near like vents in pools.
And
Guy got
actually,
sucked down the
a funny
fucking
thing that
ventilator.
happened was when I was doing the like the driving school in
Yeah.
Ecuador to get my license. At one point, they like put us all in the classroom and they show us a video. They showed us a few videos of like vehicle safety and everything. And then one of them, they played the clip from Final Destination 2 when they're driving and that whole fucking wreck happens.
Yeah.
It was so. It was just. Okay, disclaimer. I was high when I was. So I was just sitting there and then they play it and then I'm like, what the? Why are they showing this? I mean, fun, but why? Fucking crazy.
My dad loves how all of your stories always involve with, oh, I was high at the time, or I smoked a blunt.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that in my life.
I had someone ask me the other day about like had I ever tried weed, and it was a Korean person, so like obviously they've never tried it because like even Koreans, like when they, maybe people don't know this, but like even Koreans when they go abroad, they still technically have to abide by like Korean
Yeah.
law. Like they can be prosecuted for things that they do in other countries, which I think that's like a very Korean thing, right? I've never heard of other countries.
I mean, it's probably China.
China, North Korea.
I don't know if China does that though.
Hell yeah, they do. I've seen
they?
them fetch the people.
Don't they have those spy?
But that's different. That's
Police
like
stations?
they'll
What did you
do that
say?
if you're like a political dissident somewhere else. They'll do that. But if it's like just smoking weed, I don't think they will test you when you get back.
You don't think.
I don't
I've
think
heard
so.
that thing about Korea, but I've never actually heard about anyone having to do that.
Yeah. I've always heard it, so that's why like after I started coming to Korea, I was like, okay, I'm not doing it ever again.
Yeah, because they're gonna come and get you.
This is actually gonna be interesting because I don't know if my mom ever knows that I've smoked before.
So Hunter's mom, let us know in the comments. Did you know?
I mean, I kind of thought that was just a basic thing in America. These days, at least.
I mean, these days it is, but I think like especially when I was a kid, like I was not very much a hooligan, like Brian.
No tomfoolery.
No tomfoolery in my life. Like I didn't even have my first alcohol until I was 21.
Oh.
Like, well, technically I was 20. It was a week before my birthday. I was
Oh,
getting.
look at you.
I was,
Oh,
I was like,
yeah,
oh
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Miserable.
drink.
I
Ooh.
forgot you were like a Mormon or something.
Mormon? No. No, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I just was very like, I just had no interest in it.
Did you come here as a missionary?
Oh yeah, he did.
I came to spread the word
the-
of.
the
Spread the word of League of Legends.
The word of Hunter to all these
Wait, where are you going with this?
I know,
Wait,
I know,
let's- I'm trying. So when I listen to the podcast episodes, I'm always trying to think like, okay, how can we be better? And the thing that I've noticed for myself is like try not to talk when other people are talking, and not in like a rude way, but like, like usually like if people are talking, like I'll be like, aha, yeah, and I'll say it, but it kind of blends in with it, because when you're talking to people, sometimes you're like, oh yeah, 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 as because it's a very Korean thing. People go when someone's telling a story,
Yeah.
and I noticed that I do that a lot when we're doing the podcast. And like, even though to me it's like kind of isolated in my little chair here, and I don't think it's being loud or obnoxious, the mics pick up everything the same. So I've noticed that that's it. But if you're gonna start telling stories like that, I'm going to interrupt every single time.
So there was a message behind this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get it now.
Why? That's a true story, no?
Yeah, actually, it was really funny. Like, this is gonna be kind of sad, but at my dad's funeral, one of the guys who was talking about like his kids and stuff, he was like talking about my brother, my sister, and then he got to me and he was like, Hunter, he's in South Korea right now. He's studying at a Korean university with a major in media communications and a minor in pretty Korean girls. I was like, bro. You just call me out like that.
Minors?
Show me the line.
Also, yeah. Also, I was like, maybe use different wording next time. But
Show me the line.
Damn.
That's a
Wording.
good story. That's a good story.
yeah. But I was just like, he's gonna call me out like that in front of like 500 people. Thanks.
I thought it was about to get depressing.
Nah.
I mean, he started off with, it's depressing, but it's funny.
Yeah.
you know?
It was. Anyway, where were we?
Well,
Welcome back to Those Foreign Guys.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I think this is the Ghost of the Week segment. Hunter?
Oh yeah.
Any ghosts?
Any ghosts this week?
hit the theme song. I made it up till yesterday. I was so excited. Actually, I was texting Brandon's wife, which, for context,
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
for context, you should definitely listen to the Patreon episode because it's going to be very interesting. We'll tease that at the end. But the she texted me and she was like, "How's the Ghost of the Week going?" And I was like, "So far, we're good. Like, I think I'm gonna make it a whole week, and I'm not gonna have a story to tell." And then yesterday, something happened. So there's a girl I was just talking to, and like we haven't even met. It wasn't a romantic situation. Oh my god, I touched the mic.
Oh.
It wasn't a romantic situation or anything. We were just chatting. And she said, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "Oh, I'm meeting my friend." And then now she hasn't responded for 4 days. So
Those questions always kill me. What are you doing today? And then you reply, and it's just nothing. It's
I mean,
like,
I
what
guess
did you
meeting
want?
your friend is an ick. So.
I guess. I don't know. So I was giving her a few days, but then today, like yesterday, I was like, okay, maybe she like just didn't see the message. So I sent her a text, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing today?"
You double.
I double texted just to be sure. You know,
Wait,
you
so
never know.
Did you message on Kakao or like SMS?
On Kakao. We were
So
talking on
did she
Kakao.
read the message? Or?
Nope. Because she never read the first message from 4 days ago. So I was like, okay, maybe she just like got lost in the messages. So I was just like, I'll just bump it up a little bit.
Maybe you're just a boring chat. I've always wondered this. Do you end your messages with a question or a statement?
Usually with a question.
Okay. Usually. Did you end that one with a question?
The one that she didn't read, no, because she just said, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "Oh, I'm meeting my friends." And
There we go, that's why.
But she never read it.
But you can see it comes up and you can read without reading.
Yeah, I guess.
So
Maybe that's
either you
it.
got to do a longer message so that they have to open to read the full message, or end with a question.
Or send an emoticon after the message so that she can't see the first message and she has to open.
There
it.
we go. Oh, yeah. No, that's
Wow.
That's how you
That's
double
big
text, baby.
brain.
Oh.
But yeah,
This
so
has
it's not that bad of a ghost in my opinion because like nothing
attachments.
happened. We never met. Like we talked for like a day.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So
Unlucky.
I'm like,
Doesn't get to play the game.
Doesn't get to
Just
play the
don't
game.
Say we
the
do a
game.
Patreon special, just like you raising us some chick using his account.
Actually, not a
What?
bad idea. Yeah.
That could be fun.
Could be fun, right?
so I don't know if you guys saw. I posted. There's this big trend in Korea now that all the Korean girls have been doing. Like I've seen it on Instagram and everywhere where there's like snow. Do you guys know the snow app?
Nope.
It's
like a camera, like a filter.
camera
the
filter.
camera
app.
filter, yeah.
Oh.
And so they came with this like AI thing like about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And every girl that I follow on Instagram has done this AI thing where you upload 30 selfies of yourself and it creates an AI thing of you. And they just released it for guys. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna try it. I just want to see what I'd look like. Damn, I got potential. Is all I'm saying.
No, but you said it yourself. You look so Koreanized, because
because
it's for
Snow
Korean
is like a
faces, yeah.
very Korean app, and only really Koreans use it. So the AI they only trained it on Asian faces. So
I
when it
wanna
made my
use
picture, it gave me like very Asian facial features.
I'm curious now.
Do you want to say it?
I saw it. I mean, I'm curious about like trying it.
Oh, trying it?
Yeah.
You should. Oh, that'd be great. You should all try it, and we'll upload all the pictures.
I don't
on.
have enough selfies.
I know. I was
You just
thinking,
take
I was
bunch
just
of
thinking, I'm gonna
selfies.
have to just start thinking about your selfies or something when I get
Yeah.
home.
But shouldn't it be like different situations?
Yeah,
That's
just
what I
different
think,
angles.
yeah.
It just needs to be
Angles?
different angles.
And
and
I'm
stuff.
thinking in like programmer thinking. Like
Oh,
it should
yeah.
be like different lighting, different situations
Yeah.
to actually train the model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not here to train the model. I'm here to look good.
I'm gonna take 30 selfies that look exactly the same in the best lighting and the best possible, so I get the best AI version of me. I don't want no shitty AI version of me. That's what my regular face is for.
That's not how it works.
Give us a programmer.
Yeah, Mr. Programmer. You make an AI for us.
Sure.
And make it so that we can upload shitty pictures and still look good.
Technically, he does have an AI for us to use.
Yeah.
What the bot? For
No,
the-
he has a transcript AI, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, but
Shh, that's on the DL.
some other people made it better.
Oh.
Some fucking nerds.
I feel like that's every programmer. Like when they make something, someone makes it better, they're like, "Oh, fucking nerds."
That's everything in life, though, right? You get good
It
at
is.
something, but there's always that one dude who does it.
There's
better.
Always someone better.
there's always some Chinese kid who does it better.
Some 80-year-old Chinese kid hasn't left elementary school.
locked in his basement, like just.
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about his family like that.
No, it's funny too because like I'm really into history and shit, and then whenever I see like history videos, it's always some like bald white dude who knows everything about the same topic.
Wait, what?
Just like history, it's always a
nerd.
bald
Yeah,
white guy
a
who
bald-
does it better than me.
I mean, that's why they go bald. All that power in the hair. You can't keep the brain keeps expanding and pushes the hair out.
Yeah,
That explains why we all have lots of hair.
Oh yeah,
true.
we're
Sure.
fucking idiots.
Fucking idiots.
Got no time for brains.
So, moving on.
Today's topic, and this has been a requested topic. Who requested it? Me.
Every week we come in and they're like, "Hunter, what's the topic for today?" And I'm just like, "I don't know."
No. Let me lay it down. I give a topic because Hunter says he doesn't know, and then we come in and Hunter's like, "Guys, I got a new idea for the topic," and I'm like, "Come on."
Also, it's not every day we come in. It's like a few days before. Brandon sends in the group chat like, "What's the topic? Can we we can do this? I have a list." And he sends a list, and then we come in and we're like, "So what are we doing?"
Just kill me.
I do think like, and part of it is on me. Actually, most of it's on me. We do need to just have like a day where we sit down without alcohol. I mean, we can have alcohol, but not like a party night. Because I think the last time we planned to do this, we just went out and partied instead. But we need to have a day where we just sit down with a notepad and just plan out like the next like 10 episodes. or
I mean, we
something like
did
that.
plan it, but then you picked the place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had this plan and then we just went out drinking instead.
Wasn't that the night we met that man?
The mystery
Oh,
man.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking.
the mystery man. Yeah,
See, so it wasn't our fault. It wasn't your fault. It was his fault.
true. But like even when we got there, we didn't even like do anything. We need to have like a serious like a meeting day. You know,
A meeting.
I think we need to do it like once a month. But
Yeah. Just a touch base.
yeah, just touch
You can
base.
do that.
I'll touch,
I mean,
I'll
been,
touch your base.
I've been alcohol clean for another week.
One more
Nice.
week.
Yeah.
Well, when this comes out, only a few more days, right?
No, I've said I've been alcohol
Oh.
clean for another week.
It's only
I
got
made
a few days left.
Too easy.
When's the like cutoff date?
The 30th.
Like you have to be sober on the 30th, or you can drink on the
I can
30th.
drink on the 30th.
I mean,
The 30th is Friday,
The
right?
30th is Friday,
Yeah.
and it's a day off for me.
Oh.
technically, he should be sober until the 7th
Technically.
of
Why?
July.
That would,
Oh,
that
'cause
would
he
then
drank
be
on
a
the
month.
7th, yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
he
I
went
drank on
out.
the 7th. To see
But-
our boy Ricky off. Ricky!
Ricky.
Listen, wherever
Yeah,
he
miss
is.
him.
But that's just technicality.
Oh, I did have something I wanted to read. So we mentioned before on some other episodes that if you guys leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Music, that we will read the review on.
Wait, so are we doing that before we start the topic or after? You want to do it now?
We can do it after. because we hadn't gotten to the topic yet, so I was just gonna go ahead and get
yeah,
So
no.
Brendan, what is
Wait, no. So we will do it after the topic. We will, because I do have a review to read. This is not a review.
Oh.
This was a comment on one of our YouTube videos that I felt like needed to be shared, because I don't know if any of you guys actually saw it.
Is this on the last video?
Was it on the last video? It was on the Hagwon University Language School video. So yeah, the last one. Do you know what I'm about to talk about?
Is
that the last one?
the guy who said that? I don't actually know who that person is, but they comment on every single video. Love them. About making the day faster.
No.
Oh, okay. Totally missed it.
So I'll try to read this quickly because it's pretty long, but I just think this needed to be shared. So he was talking about a specific time about Bryant when he was talking about the mom that used to have a Hagwon, but she was like complaining about
Oh,
her
yeah,
Hagwon.
yeah,
yeah.
And you're like, if you know so much about Hagwons, yours would still be open, which is a great point. So the person said, clip that shit. And I think we could take turns reading some of this because I think it'd be funnier that way. But I'll read the first part. He said, Bryant dishing it out, Savage Royale extreme, asking the real questions, enough realness dosage to cause existential crisis in the average person. Bryant's ability to dish out savage truths is simply unparalleled. He fearlessly asks the questions that cut through the facade and force us to confront our own realities. With each word he utters, he injects a potent dose of realness that has the power to shatter our illusions and provoke an existential crisis within the average person. I'll let you read the next paragraph.
This is a copy pasta, right? This
Must be a copy pasta.
I
has
don't
to
think
be
it
a
is.
copy
I think it's just
pasta.
he wrote
But I don't
it.
know where you're at.
This has to be a copy pasta. It's so
He said
good.
I'll just read the next one. He says, his unwavering commitment to authenticity and truth-telling is both refreshing and terrifying. In a world saturated with superficiality and half-truths, Bryant emerges as a beacon of brutal honesty, unafraid to challenge societal norms and expose the uncomfortable truths that lie beneath the surface. Watching Bryant in action is like taking a plunge into the deep end of reality. He doesn't sugarcoat or shy away from the harshness of life. Instead, he confronts it head-on, leaving us questioning our own existence and pondering the deeper meaning behind our everyday lives. But amidst the chaos and existential turmoil he sparks, Bryant also offers a glimmer of hope. Through his thought-provoking insights, he compels us to reevaluate our perspectives, inspiring personal growth and transformation. His words serve as a wake-up call, pushing us to break free from the chains of complacency and embrace a more authentic version of ourselves. So buckle up and brace yourselves for the savage wisdom Bryant imparts. Prepare to have your worldview shattered and your perspective forever altered. For in the realm of truth-seeking and raw authenticity, Bryant reigns supreme, reminding us that sometimes it takes a dose of brutal realness to ignite the fire of self-discovery within us all. Peace.
Can we do this like in like a Star Wars
Yeah,
style?
just like a Star Wars. Yeah. I was literally imagining
Well,
that.
thank you
exactly.
to whoever wrote
Who was
that.
this? Who was
That's
this?
That was Ricky.
fucking Ricky. I mean, I don't know what to say, but
Oh,
thanks.
Ricky the God.
You mean Ricky, our future producer?
Future producer.
So if you would like to have your comment read on air like this, then please leave a comment that you want us to read, and especially on Spotify and Apple Music. If you leave those reviews, we will read whatever you have to say. So there's our review segment of the week.
Oh
Nice.
my God. I
Wow.
just brushed the mic. I'm sorry. Oh, that brush was for Ricky. Oh.
For Ricky.
Oh
I'll
my
brush
God.
one too for Ricky.
Oh my god! No more brushes for Ricky.
No brushes for Ricky. You wanna get in there?
Okay. So now moving on.
I don't know how to follow that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so that was, I think we do need to have that review segment of the week. So if you want yours to be read next week,
Whoa,
please leave us something.
That was good. And you can also choose who reads it.
Sure.
Mm, That's a good one.
Everyone makes Brian read all the time. Just want to hear his silky smooth voice.
I want my world
smile.
shattered.
With the realness.
But also with that glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
I feel like I only talk about like stories where I get high or just stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah.
So you're on a higher plane.
Hey.
Yeah, okay. So,
Okay, so to get back
Topic.
to the topic of this week, it is, and this has been asked from both sides, foreigner and Korean, but how do you make friends in Korea? You know, it's one thing to come and leave everything behind to live in another country, but at the same time, many Koreans also are like, shit, I want a foreign friend, but they don't know how to get it. So how do you make friends? How do you make friends?
But I think there are also two sides to this. Like, why do they want to make a foreign friend?
Get into that. Tell us, what do you think?
I was gonna say, do we want to start from the
Yeah.
foreigner angle or do we want to start from the Korean angle? I think we do one at a time.
One at a time?
Yeah.
Talk about your personal experiences.
Yeah, I think start there.
I mean, as a non-native English speaker, I feel like I've had this experience less than many people. But I think a lot of Korean people want an English-speaking friend to practice their English. And I've heard this a lot from other foreigners. So, have you had this experience?
Kind of. I mean, like, I am pretty active on like some language exchange apps, and
Of course you are.
seriously, and I actually met someone last week who is part of like a skateboarding club, and so I skateboard, and so they were like, "Hey, do you want to come join me and some people for a skateboarding club?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is really fun." And so I went, and it ended up just being me, her, and this other guy from the club. And as soon as I got there, because she spoke really good English, he was like, "I'm so tired of English," and I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Don't speak English to me," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So it was a little awkward.
It's kind of
Jesus.
rude.
Yeah, that was kind of what.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
So did you one up him and just hit him with a Korean?
Bro, I hit a kickflip on him.
That's my boy.
He was like struggling to do an ollie. I was like, "Bro, watch this kickflip." Pow! First try. No, but I think, and that experience aside, most experiences that I've had, especially with Koreans, like they are very open to learning English and like want to learn English. And I've talked on the podcast before about my like global buddy program, and so like going through that, I've made some friends that are Korean that just want to practice their English, maybe because they want to go to abroad, or they just want to make foreign friends because it's fun to have
it's a
that
different
token
world
foreign
perspective. Also,
Yeah, I think so. What about you?
What about me?
Did you have any Koreans approach you just to learn English, or what's your sort of feeling?
I can't think of it. I think that a lot of the times it's because I'm looking to meet people with shared interests, then I end up meeting people that way. But maybe there is a part of it that also wants to practice English, but it doesn't seem very obvious. It's kind of more like sharing the same interests. So I can't really say. I don't think so. I mean, I think there's always a little bit of that there, but not the main thing.
But I also feel like with your situation, most of the time, if you're meeting Koreans in like like outside, it's usually at like a bar or a club.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of true because other than the times that I go out, I just stay home. So has to be.
Have you made any friends through like your what is it, judo,
Jiu-jitsu?
jiu-jitsu? So when you met your friends from jiu-jitsu, like what's that relationship usually like?
Just we'd talk there. Like we wouldn't go out or anything afterwards, especially because we would finish jiu-jitsu like really late. I think usually we will finish around 11 is when the gym closes, and it's a weekday, so we wouldn't do anything afterwards. But then also never like get together for going out on the weekend or anything.
And I can't remember. I think maybe I've asked this before. When you do jiu-jitsu, are you doing it in English or in Korean?
So the place where I'm doing it now, I have this one training partner. We speak Chinese. I mean, there are a couple of people who can speak English there, and in the place where I trained before, also it was the same. But the place where I'm at now, yeah, this one dude, like he speaks English and Chinese. I mean, sorry, no, Korean and Chinese, and so like Chinese is the only one that we can talk.
I was about to say, because that's where my question was going, was like, do you think part of the reason you don't like hang out with them outside of jiu-jitsu is because of the language barrier?
No. It's just like I never really took the initiative to get closer to them to be like, yeah, let's do something afterwards kind of thing. It's just, I do my training and then I'm super exhausted, so I just go home.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna say that you speak with body language.
Well, we do. We do. A lot.
Always wrestling.
Wrestling.
wait.
So about you, Dodger?
Yeah, I play basketball about 1 to 2 times per week. There's a couple of foreigners, but it's mostly Korean people. And at least a small subset of us usually goes out after playing, like just get some chicken and some beers. But we never really meet not after basketball, but usually just after. Yeah. So it's not... And we speak Korean.
Yeah.
So
The other foreigners too.
most of them, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, because I think they don't like advertise it in English. They had advertised it in Korean.
Wait, so how did you get part of it? Where do you see
So-
this advert?
I saw it on Meetup.com, like at first. So if you ever come to Korea and you wanna find something, go to Meetup.com.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
could talk about that
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. I found it through there and then just showed up. Pretty awkward the first day. And got to know them and yeah.
You showed up and they were like, "What?
What?
Who the fuck is this guy?
White?"
That's a weird looking Korean man.
So that was all the way back in like 2019, I think.
Oh, okay, wow. So you've been doing same group.
Yeah,
for a
same
while?
group. But like it got cancelled over Corona and then finally got recently we started back up. So yeah. So I think that's the best way to like meet people here is to find an activity you like. Of course, speak the language would be the best, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And when you can't speak the language, do what I did. Join a language exchange group. I mean, that's the first thing I did coming to Korea. And so for me, my first initial reaction, or not reaction, interaction with Koreans was, I want to learn Korean, they want to learn English, let's chat. And so that became the easiest way to sort of, for them to make friends and for me to make friends. But at the same time, I wasn't friends with everyone. You sort of go, I had no problem speaking to anyone, right? I always had a good time. Everyone had a good time. But there were some people where we had no shared interests. We had very little in common. I'm not going to call you for a drink afterwards. Or I'm not going to just be like, hey, you want to get some lunch? You want to get some dinner? I'll see you on Friday. But there were a good couple of friends who I'm still very good friends with from that group. And we are friends because of shared connections outside of language, right? We both enjoyed League of Legends at the time, went to PC bunks together. And now we both enjoy doing nothing all the time. He tried to sell badminton to me. And I
Dude,
went to a couple of
badminton is
times.
fun.
Badminton's fun, but he was a bit too into it too quickly. So like imagine your friend who's just super into something and he's
you're
got
not
no
really
idea,
into
you're
it, yeah.
not really, but you do it for him. So it's like nice, but then he just, I don't know, too much energy just pushes you away, then pulls you in, sort of a thing. But I still love him, and we chat as much as we can. So for us, just try and find shared interests. That's why it's difficult to separate trying to make friends with a Korean or having a Korean trying to make friends with you, because the two go hand in hand, I think.
So in that sense, I guess we should talk about like what kind of difficulties you think there are when it comes to like being a foreigner specifically, when trying to like make Korean friends, specifically Korean friends in Korea.
I think the biggest one, and we've all sort of underlined it a little bit, is you never know when a Korean wants to be your friend or wants to learn English.
Yeah, that's what. We all heard the stories of like people when they finish their what's the exam called?
TOEIC.
TOEIC.
Yeah.
It's like they stop contacting you after they finish the exam.
Yeah.
So you just never know.
But
And
then,
it's always at the back of your head. It's like, is this homie just laughing or?
But
does
I
he just wanna
think one of the
practice?
biggest mistakes in this is like we say like trying to make a Korean friend.
Yeah.
It's such a targeted specific
yeah, that's what
thing.
I was gonna say. Like, I don't think that it has to be exclusively just Korean friends, because when I came here, for example, I wasn't thinking I want to make Korean friends. I was thinking I want to meet people, just
Sure,
people.
but I want to get into that after. I think I wanted to talk about first, like when it comes to Koreans, what do you think are the hardest parts about becoming like closer friends with Koreans specifically? And then I think we can go into talking about like how to actually make friends in
I know
Korea in general.
that's what I want to like say. Like when you're trying to exclusively meet a Korean friend, I think some people try too hard to like. I don't know how to explain.
I guess what the point I'm saying is like not saying like specifically trying to make a Korean friend, but just when it comes
When
to
it
making
comes to,
Korean,
yeah.
making
And
Korean
that's
friends,
why,
What are the
what
things you
is the
struggle
hardest
with?
part
Yeah.
about that?
So,
Like, for example, for me,
Yeah.
I think like for me it's like you mentioned like the not shared interest part, but I also feel like especially when it comes to this, I feel like this is a point specifically for guys. Korean guys, I feel like it's very hard to kind of like get into their circles, because Koreans in general, both guys and girls, like they have their very like close friends, and I feel like Koreans aren't the most extroverted people.
I
mean,
wouldn't say
they're-
say
like,
extrovert. I'd use the word open.
open. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel like every group that I've ever met, they always have their high school friends, their college friends, they're like their pure like group. And I feel like as a foreigner, it's very hard to be included into that. And so you're always going to be the foreign friend. I feel like in my cases, I feel like I'm always the foreign friend, and it's like, oh, when I want to hang out with the foreign friend, I'll call you. But it's like I never feel like I'm actually in that like inner circle. Like I feel like we have like our inner circle, right? I feel like there's never we could bring someone else. Like Ricky, when he came, like he got to kind of join
Yeah, I know
in
what
and
you
like
mean, yeah.
became part of that. But I feel like if you're not going to like Korean high school, or like you're not part of that like very small knit Korean group in college, it's very hard to become part of someone else's inner circle when you're the foreigner towards Koreans.
But again, I don't think that's an exclusive to Korea thing. I think that happens anywhere when you are a foreigner in that country. Like the people
Yeah.
that are locals have that because they went to school here. They have those friends from years ago.
Yeah.
I'll say
So-
for Korea specific though, it is a thing, and where even Koreans feel the same way as foreigners do with other Koreans, because there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Korean saying where middle school is where you make your true friends. So they have this idea that if you meet people after middle school, they're only friends for a purpose. And maybe that's why we get that feeling of, I'm here to practice English. I'm that foreign friend. When I want to learn a foreign culture, this is who I speak to. But middle school, you're past the age of being a kid, but you're not quite an adult. So everyone you meet there, those are your true friends. So there's this concept.
I guess if I had to like boil it down to a certain point, I would just say like as a foreigner, I feel like it's almost impossible for me to get added to the group chat. I think that's the point for me, right?
Ah, yeah.
Like I feel like I've never been added to the group chat.
I mean, it's kind of a good measurement point for friendship these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. So I'm curious, has anyone been added to a friend group chat with Koreans only?
No.
Never.
Never?
But like I've never.
Yeah, I was in one, but I'm also not sure if I actually want to count it now that I'm thinking about it more.
The question is, do you
Because
know if you were in the main group chat?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let's not go that
That's
far.
what I'm saying. I don't know how to exclude. Like, there were these 3 girls, women, and I'm not sure if they made a new group chat or if they added me to their group chat. That's why I'm not sure if I want to add, if I was part of the circle or not, kind of a thing. Because
Probably made a new one.
I'm not sure which one it was. But when I was added to the group chat, we did do a lot of, we did everything together in my first few months in Korea. Yeah, they just took me everywhere, showed me everything. And yeah, we're really good friends. So I'm not sure which group chat. That's what I'm saying. You always have that part of me stuck. Was I just used for English?
Yeah.
So what are your experiences like first coming here and making friends?
I mean, I did meet some when I first came here. I did meet a bunch of Koreans.
How?
In a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. Like if you get here first and you want to meet people, how do you approach that?
Drinking.
Well, that's why, for me, the first thing I did was I searched for a language exchange group. I had heard about language exchange groups from other friends who had been to Korea before me, and I asked them, hey, what was your experience? How did you make friends? So it's just like this monkey banana thing, language exchange. So that's the first thing I did.
But if you do go the bar route, I would say try to meet people early in the night who you actually want to become friends with. Because if you meet someone late night or in a club, they're never gonna be your friend. Even though you're both drunk, you add each other on Instagram and shit, you're never talking.
Yeah.
So
Hey, we met Muduk that way.
I was gonna bring
That's
that
a
up.
homie,
yeah.
right? We made him
Muduk
late at
is a
night, yeah.
homie, and
he's
that
a
was
rarity.
yeah.
It's a rare find.
He's just a very nice guy too. That was James's birthday too. I bought that bottle, and then everyone was already pretty drunk, so they had one. They didn't even finish the one glass. Everyone left, and I'm like, "Fuck! I still have a bottle." So I texted in a group chat like, "Hey, who's in Hongdae? I have a bottle." And Muduk showed up, and homie since.
But
Homie since.
you were together in some kind of group chat.
Yes.
So it
that's
was
what,
not. It was something of sheer interest.
right. So that's why that was the point of my question is like, how do you approach it? Because for me, I think most of the people that I have come to know, it's through some kind of group chat. And like the first one that I joined when I first got here, because it was Corona, during Corona, I joined the League of Legends group chat. Just because like stuck at home, what are you going to do? Play some games. But I don't want to play all the time alone. So then, play with other people. And I do remember that I specifically wanted to look for like foreign people in Korea so that I could talk to them. So that's why I was saying like I never really like targeted specifically like meeting Korean people. It was more just like people. And, we did meet a lot of other people. Like we met Matt Moon, we met James, like a lot of other Koreans who are also in that group.
Wait, James, is he Korean?
Man,
China.
he's less and less Korean with each passing day.
True.
But yeah, that's how we all met actually. Was
Right,
the
right.
Chat.
And then the other people that I know is also from other group chats, which, well, those are like specific drinking and Hongdae group chats. But yeah, so I think like finding those kinds of groups and then coming to those meetups or hanging out in those situations is probably the easiest way.
So that is by downloading Kakao.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Using the group chat finding feature.
Yes.
but it wasn't always as easy. So you actually joined, for example, I think I added you to the first Hongdae group chat.
Yeah, I
And-
joined another couple on my own.
And you joined another couple. But before I added you to that first one, it wasn't like it was when you joined. It was
Oh.
group chats tend to become clicky. I think everything just has a
Oh, yeah.
tendency to be clicky.
Mm-hmm.
And I had joined that group chat for a couple of months before I actually got a chance to meet someone in real life, because people would be like, "Hey, who's going out?" And I'd reply, "Can I join?" "Hey, me, what's up? Anyone want to go out?" And
nobody
it was just
answer.
silence. It
Yeah.
was just like the same 5 people chatting to each other, and it was just silence. And it took a long time to break that. And the way it broke was, I went out with some other friends, and we met another group, and I was like, "Hey, this guy looks familiar," and I kept sort of doing that weird stare of, where do I know this guy from? And he was doing the same thing afterwards. And eventually I was just like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think we're in the same group chat." And then we realized we were both sort of people trying to hang out, but the main 5 people just never included us.
Yeah.
And once we got that going, things opened up.
I
So-
think that actually
need to put
happened to
some more
me as
effort
well
in.
because it was the same. Like I'm gonna be there. Like who's gonna show up? No answer. But then a couple of people would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm here." Like if I see you, like kind of thing. And then I think I met Tyler that way. I think I met Jay was a special situation because it was during New Year. So it was like, "Oh, we're in Hongdae. Who's in Hongdae?" And it was kind of like, "Oh, me. Let's like show up this place." And then I went somewhere else. It was kind of like it was a crazy night. But yeah, I think those group chats generally there's a few of them where they just like make events and like, okay, if you're attending, click attend, see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we've met a lot of people recently that way too. Some better than others.
Don't look at me when you say that. I'm gonna.
So apart from group chats, have you guys had any other experiences of like? I mean, you had your basketball, but like, was there? I will say for me, mine was my language school. Like when I was doing the language school, like I got to meet a lot of people that way, but they were other foreigners. But a lot of them spoke English, and even the ones that didn't speak English were like pretty open to being friends. Like I made my first like 3 friends in Korea were all Chinese, and none of them spoke any English.
So where's your Chinese?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we would just speak like our really shitty Korean to each other, or just play League of Legends together at like PC bongs because they liked playing League. And so like at first, like the only way I had to meet people was going out and drinking. And if you're coming to Korea and you want to meet people, I highly recommend going on like pub crawls. Like it's becoming more popular. There's only like 2 or 3 companies that really do it, but there's some very like foreign focused ones in Hongdae that I highly recommend. I mean, it's mostly going to be other foreigners, so it's hard to like meet people who are going to stay here for a long time, which is kind of the struggle that I went through like my first year in Korea. And I mean, I only had like a couple months before COVID happened, so after COVID started, like we couldn't really do that stuff anymore. But going out on like pub crawls and stuff, it was nice meeting people, but the issue I ran into with that was that I was always meeting people who were leaving. I met a lot of like travelers or people who were like about to leave or people who were here for like 6 months. And at first, while I was one of those people also, like now looking back on it, it's like, dang, like I spent a lot of time making friends that like I don't talk to anymore.
Yeah.
Like I have no contact with them anymore because they just leave. And so I think that's the only hard part for me about like making friends with other foreigners is that I want to meet people who are going to stay here for a long time. And I feel like that's getting easier, but at the time it was like really hard for me.
It's a very common occurrence too when you're a foreigner in another country because I had that a lot in China too. even though like I'm not saying like they would leave right away, but like you become close friends, and then after a couple of years or 3 years, they're gone. And,
This is my experience with meeting Korean people also here.
oh, yeah.
Because a lot of Korean people who are open to meeting foreigners,
Oh.
they are looking to leave the country.
Yeah.
So they're
That's true.
practicing
Yeah,
before they
they're
leave.
practicing
Yeah, and
before-
I wouldn't say necessarily practicing by meeting you, but like they do have a more open mind, so they do look to move. So most of the, because I was an exchange student here for 6 months before I moved here a few years later, I think all of the Koreans I met, like who became my good friends then, have left.
Oh.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
But that's sort of also what I was thinking, and that's why I think people do come in with the idea of, I want to make Korean friends, because they know foreigners leave. I think I can sympathize with that feeling of you can't create, it's difficult to create a community or a sense of community when after a year or two, half of the community leaves, or just, ups and goes. And so that's why people do, it's less of a case of, I want to make a Korean friend, more of a case of, I want to make a friend with a local. We just happen to be in Korea. That's why it sounds like, I want to make a Korean friend.
Yeah, but it's just when you read it on Reddit.
Yeah, when
it's
you read it on Reddit,
it's someone like,
kind
I
of-
want to meet a Korean friend. It sounds so.
That is a very important distinction that I feel like we should have made earlier on.
No, yeah, I think that's the point. Because like you said, when you on sites like Reddit, I think that's when it's, they say, I want to make a Korean friend. It's because it's the creepy Redditors who want to meet their oppas and, their nunas and, let me meet my Korean
Nunas.
dream. If you want to meet it, cool, but you're giving the other foreigners weird names,
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
vibes.
That is, I'm glad you made that distinction. We should have actually probably put that at the beginning.
Yeah, let's say let's
Flip that. Put that in the
I don't want to meet a Korean. I want to meet a local.
Yeah.
Let's
Meet a
call it
local.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why my, okay, now I want to name, never mind.
Yeah, don't name drop people too much. I mean, and even like this week, I've had this kind of experience of like feeling like there was a like friendship that I felt like could have been good, but kind of got blocked out by other things. I'll elaborate a little bit, but like I've talked about the buddy program, and so like every semester they give you a different buddy, and the way they do it is like when the foreigner students sign up, you write like an introduction about yourself. You say like, okay, I'd rather have this gender. Like you can say male, female, or I don't care.
Do you want to give your specifics?
I wonder what Hunter
I
wrote.
said
Yeah.
male.
And what did you write about yourself? Give us your intro.
I mean, I said that I like playing League of Legends, that I'm really into like video making, and what else did I say? I said I like skateboarding, I like drinking, obviously. And so like one of the questions is like, do you want a buddy that drinks?
Oh, okay.
Because some people don't drink, especially because a lot of people who come to my school are from like countries that have religions where they don't drink. I don't want to try to remember which religions they are because I'm probably gonna fuck it up. So but there are some
we
that
need some
can't
content, Hunter.
drink.
Give us a guess.
And so they have like that question, like, do you want a friend that doesn't drink or that doesn't drink alcohol? I always say, of course I want a friend that drinks alcohol. And like I put in my thing, I'm like, I want to hang out with someone who wants to go out drinking. And so then the Korean students get to look at those and like pick who they want. And so there was a guy that like I had gone into a few activities with the previous semester that we had kind of talked a little bit, that he chose me because he was like, oh, I know Hunter. So he chose me. But then we hung out one time the entire semester. One time. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to like try to hang out a little bit more because especially now that the semester's over, like we have a little bit more free time. And so like, I was like, oh, okay, now semester's over, like let's hang out. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And so we made a plan, and then he canceled it.
Did he ghost you?
No, he didn't ghost me.
Oh,
I mean, I get it. Like he's a really busy student. He's like a computer engineer. He got an internship at
Fucking
Samsung.
nerd.
Oh, then
So-
he's just fucking.
I mean, I get it.
He's probably not even getting sleep.
I get it. And he just started dating this girl that's also in the club. She's also Korean, but
Now
they
he's
just-
really
yeah,
not
that's
getting
why.
sleep.
Yeah.
So, but to me, it's like, okay, if that's your life, if that's what you're gonna do, why did you sign up for this? Because the
True.
whole point is like that you're supposed to like meet a foreigner and like give them someone to hang out with, but then you don't hang out with them. It didn't really make sense to me. So next semester, I'm writing on the thing. I'm like, I want some like if you're gonna pick me, you need to be like down to hang.
so wait, if someone picks you, are you just like fucked and stuck with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't you complain?
I mean, I could, but at the same time, like, I didn't really care to. At the beginning of the semester, when like all the matching started happening, I was in a relationship, so I didn't really care too much. But now that I'm single, I'm like, I want to go out, I want to go party, let's go do stuff. And yeah, he didn't want to. So,
So
This
you
man
pick-
wants to party when we stop partying.
dude,
no,
it's so dumb. It's so
no,
dumb.
that's exactly it, right? I said I'm not going to drink this month, And each day, Hunter's like, anyone want to go out? Who wants to get a
Yeah,
drink?
you wanna go?
Boys night?
Me and my
Boys night?
friend, we our big thing. My Korean friend that I have met through school, that's been very nice. He doesn't drink. That's the problem. Literally nobody in my school group drinks. None of them.
Unlucky.
I don't get it. But me and him and one of our other friends that all live really close, we've been just going to the playground and hanging out. And I always buy the $2 bottle of soju.
You go to the playground to hang out, Hunter.
Yeah,
That
that's what you do.
sounds so funny.
It
Yeah.
does sound weird, but
Sounds.
at night the playground turns into like a place where people just come to drink.
At night, you hang out in playgrounds? Well, it's...
That
American
sounds even
followers-
He
worse.
mentioned minors before. Now he's hanging out at playgrounds.
Everyone is of age. No shenanigans are going
But-
on.
No tomfoolery.
No tomfoolery. Yeah.
You're making it sound like you have to drink to meet people in Korea. Like
He just wants to. I
I
think.
just want to.
no, not
Yeah.
not necessarily just talking about you. Like we're
Yeah.
making it sound like
yeah.
you need to
Ah,
drink
yeah.
to make friends here.
Yeah, you
You
definitely,
definitely don't. But I will say it's definitely easier.
Oh,
It's
it's
way
a lot
easier.
easier. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Korea's #1 pastime. And Brian joked earlier, he goes to jiu-jitsu, ends 11 on a weeknight. Man, Koreans don't care about weeknights.
Yeah.
I care.
That's when they do the most.
I know this, but I
That's
definitely
when-
care.
I'll never forget. I had a friend who, in his final week in Korea, he was working, and in his final week, he decided, fuck it, I'm just going to drink every night. And say, go to school a bit hungover and stuff. And some of the teachers at the school, because our school's already closed, the Korean teacher would ask me, Brandon, is Travis okay? He's coming to school drunk, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I just name dropped him, shit, whatever. And I was just
Bleep
like,
that part.
and I was just like, why do you guys care? You all do the same thing. You all go to school hungover, and now when the foreigner does it, now you want to reel it in. I was like, I ain't having this shit. Don't talk to me about my boy.
I was also
Let
gonna
him go.
say, like, on the topic of like you don't have to drink. The reason I think that it's a lot easier and makes it a little bit more comfortable is because I feel like Koreans can sometimes be a little afraid to speak English or to hang out with a foreigner. They feel a lot of pressure, and when you get that alcohol going, then a little of that pressure alleviates. And,
Vice versa.
True.
yeah, and vice versa. Yeah.
My Korean when I'm drunk.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
it's fluent.
Fluent.
Until
baby.
I drink too much and it's just
and
gibberish.
then Dogger has a special language.
The
that he
dog has a
speaks.
special language where he changes between Icelandic, Korean, English, some Danish.
In the middle of the
sprinkle-
word,
In
he
the middle of
changes.
the word. So good. No one can understand this man. But hey,
One day maybe
One day.
you'll reach my level.
do I want to reach that level?
I do.
So-
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
from where I live, like there's it's kind of like a really big area that has a big street with restaurants, pochas, and all that type of stuff. So from my window, I can look out and see that whole street, and it doesn't matter which day it is, what time it is. There's people just wandering around, or like being just fucking
every day of the
crazy.
week.
Every day.
Especially where there's offices in Korea.
Yeah.
All these
Oh.
Korean salarymen everywhere drinking.
No, Korean nightlife is just something. one of my students was talking to me about it. He was just complaining about Korea the entire time, and then he stopped and he was like, "But there's one thing you foreigners can't compete with us with," and I was like, "Okay, what?" He's like, "Nightlife." I was like,
I mean,
shit.
it
He's not wrong.
It is a big part of why people do come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not wrong. I can't think of a different country that has nightlife the way Korea does.
It's funny too because where I used to work, we had Wednesdays off. So sometimes we'd have like the company meeting or the like 회식 type thing, like a dinner and then drinks after, on a Tuesday. And we'd go to those streets like with pochas and everything and have a drink and food on a Tuesday. It'd be like 2 a.m. and the place is still fucking packed on a Tuesday night. It's just everyone is there. It's fucking crazy. I always thought that was like one of the weirdest things. I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But shit.
Oh,
No
we know
rest.
you're used to it now, baby.
Oh, wait.
After Corona, it has been a little bit slower to open up all these streets. Like some streets closed and a lot of restaurants closed and shit. So whenever I go somewhere like on a Wednesday, it's like, why the fuck isn't this shit open?
Actually, yeah. I've seen a couple of places like that, right? Sometimes some places still advertise 24 hours,
Yeah.
and you get there and it's like, oh, closed due to the pandemic. It's like, what?
Dude, it's over 3 years ago.
It's over
or
3
whatever.
years, you know?
It's like that meme was like, well, that was a fucking lie. Like,
Damn. Do me like this. Yeah.
So got used to the good life.
Okay, so to roll it back, let's talk applications. So, Dogger, you already mentioned Meetup, but Meetup is an international app.
Yeah.
Doesn't get used that much in Korea.
I've seen a bunch of events.
Yeah, I have to.
Because I will say, I lived outside of Seoul for most of my time, and
Uh-huh.
meetup was hot garbage.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, I think that's a
Uh,
good
my
point. If you're in
goodness.
Seoul, maybe,
Maybe
Busan,
Busan, yeah.
but
But-
otherwise,
It's very soul centric.
yeah.
So what I discovered was a Korean version of the app Meetup, and the name is Moim, Moim, something like that. I'm not sure if the app name's correct, but the picture is of a circle, a triangle, and a square.
Munto.
Munto, is that the name?
Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. 'Cause
But
that's
the-
where the skateboarding.
It does.
group
The
is.
app have a triangle, a circle,
I don't
and
know.
a
I haven't
square?
downloaded it yet. Someone just
okay.
recommended it to me like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay, well, the one I know sound like more like Moim, Moim, something like that. But anyways, there are a lot of different kinds of apps. Find a Korean app if you are outside of Seoul, but that also means you're gonna learn to speak Korean.
Yes.
But have you ever used a Korean app? They kind of give me weird vibes.
Nope.
I get it though, but I'll tell you why they give me weird vibes. Some of the groups advertise like age restrictions, and they do stuff for like try and balance, like not all of them, but many of them try and balance how many men or women attend.
I feel
And I'm always just like, is this dating or not?
like every group in Korea will
Yeah.
somehow run dating.
And I'm just like, is this dating? I was like, I just want to, meet a buddy or do something. And it's like, oh, too many men are attending this thing. And I'm just like, I don't care. I'm here to meet other men, Let's make a dude friend. It's just
I mean, I know an app
impossible.
Yeah. I mean, there's another app for that if that's what you're looking for.
It's so weird. But like you said, so many things just always involve dating somewhere. So
I think
it's
we should
weird.
ask the person with the most app experience here.
I know. No, but he's using apps for non-friend purposes.
I use it for friend purposes too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you are who Korea is marketing Tinder for, huh? Meet your new friend on Tinder.
Well, I don't use Tinder for that, but I am on some language exchange apps, and I do think that it depends on how you use it. I will say, and depends on who you're
Can I ask a
choosing to
question?
talk to.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
How many people from language exchange apps have you met not for a date?
Usually, most of them.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I will say, like, I when I'm using it, like, obviously I'm open to the idea of dating, but when I'm meeting them, I'm not saying it like, hey, let's go on a date. Hey, let's have a date. Usually it's, hey, let's just,
Follow up question: how many of them are female?
damn it.
That was-
That's what I thought.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
That was my question too.
80%,
So-
99%,
So,
100.
Okay. Let's change the question. Has there ever been a dude you met from a language exchange app that you met?
No. If you're thinking about it, you know it's a no. Because, and I'll tell you why I say this. If you met a dude, it would have been one guy. How can you forget the one guy out of
Yeah.
100
Sure.
women?
technically,
Technically, nope. Don't
technically,
accept.
yes. It wasn't a language exchange app.
He didn't know
but
it.
it was from
He
an
didn't
app.
know it was a dude.
Oh, kinda?
No.
Oh.
It was like a school app. So there are universities in Korea have a app called Everytime, and there's like boards you can post on.
Mm-hmm.
And I did say one time that I was looking for someone to play ping pong with, and someone replied, and we started talking, and I said, let's play ping pong on campus, and he came, and we're friends now.
So the answer is no. Okay.
I think that counts.
No, because Dog's question was about language.
Language
exchange
exchange
apps.
in terms of language exchange apps, no. But I
But
think that's because of how the app works.
Why?
because in its essence, it is a dating
no.
app.
It's like designed
what?
as a dating app, but it's marketed as a language
But
exchange.
what I'm saying is you don't. Why is it that 100% of the people you met there are women?
because it asks you who do you want to see, men or women.
So you can choose both, is what I'm saying. I know, because I used HelloTalk as well for a long time.
Oh, I was talking about Hello Talk.
Oh,
I
what
was
are you
talking about
talking
Meef.
Meef is not a language exchange
Yes, it
app.
is.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
If you look at it,
No,
it
no,
says
no,
language
no.
exchange, and then
Man,
every
this
person.
guy's going for
No,
technicalities.
to the good
here.
people. If you come
Doesn't
to
the
Korea,
button have a heart?
Meef, yes.
Yes, that's why it's weird.
Meef is not a language exchange app. No matter how much they try to market it as such, it is not.
What does
I
meef
think it
mean?
is.
If you need to click like on the people,
That's why I said
to
it's
match
weird.
with people, it's not a language exchange app. They're marketing it as such because they're
I
trying to
think
get past
a
some
better
laws or
idea
something.
though is to click like on this video.
What do you say? What do you say?
agree.
What do you have to flick?
Flick the bell.
Like the val. Oh my god, yeah. The Meef is not
I think Hello
I
Talk.
think in my experience of using it, the people that I meet from that, they usually are just looking for language exchange.
I don't discount that. I mean, it's just that's why I said earlier. I joked Tinder, right? Korea markets Tinder as a
friend finding app.
finding
Finder,
app.
yeah.
So I'm not discounting it, but the reality doesn't always match what is being advertised as. That's why I sort of don't think you can call me a language exchange.
But you
app.
could also say the same thing about going to like language exchange at bars.
I mean, I've
I know,
always,
I
always
I've-
gonna be people
I've
with
always
other
said
I
intentions.
100%
like-
no. I think Dog has said that like a couple of times. Language exchange at a bar.
it is
That's
a dating meetup.
it's a dating meetup. It's not a language exchange.
It's not like speed dating, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a dating meetup.
It's not speed dating, but it's speed dating.
So
No,
the answer to your
100%.
question is probably no. I have only met females.
Nice.
But I have met people without the intention of dating that I have just become friends.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
Another question: were they attractive?
Every single one.
Exactly. See, this is
Hey,
my
that's not my
point.
fault though.
Yes, it is.
How is it my fault
just
if,
said
if
you have to click
attractive
like.
girls want to hang out with me? Why?
Oh, we're going this way.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm not gonna
okay.
get involved. To
so-
continue, are there any apps you used, Brian?
I mean, they weren't with the intention of making friends.
No.
I briefly used both Tinder and Bumble, but oh no, and I did use Meetup a little bit when I first got here.
Okay, yeah.
But like, when it comes to meeting people, I am a little bit introverted, and also I can't be bothered too much with like looking for these meetups based on because there's so many options. Like, what are your interests? And it's like I don't fucking know. I just want to hang out.
I'm just saying, man.
So-
the Lord of the Rings club was so hard to get into.
And so like yeah, so like I kind of just got bored, and I'm like, and I had it installed on my phone for like years, but I used it maybe the first 2 times when I first downloaded it. That was it. Bumble and Tinder I uninstalled very soon after, just because it was like, I don't know,
It's
like
exhausting.
yeah, it's just like looking at pictures and just
Finger
being
tired.
like,
From swiping right.
just looking at pictures and then just being like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I will say, other than dating apps, when I first came to Korea, I did the way I found the pub crawls. Actually, I downloaded an app called Come Up. I don't know if that's still
I've
popular
never
or
heard
not.
of this app in my life.
It's just a blue C is the logo. But there's like events and stuff like that.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I know he's just smiling. I'm not looking at him, but I
You
can,
can- you can
feel
feel
it.
it.
Yeah, I can feel it. You can feel his giggling over there. But that's actually how I found the pub crawls. So
Okay.
there are some like events posted on there. That was before COVID, so I don't know how it has survived through COVID. But I know Meetup and Come Up were like the 2 big apps that the pub crawl advertised on. And so I know there's a few different events and stuff. They had language exchange events as well on there. But they also sell tickets to like Water Bomb and stuff like that. So
And to not sound like a total boomer, but a good place is Facebook. Because no. Yeah. Because
I know what
there's
you're gonna
other
say.
space
yeah.
for groups.
Yeah.
And that's an excellent place for creations for different places. It's the only thing I use Facebook
But
for.
you do sound like a boomer.
It sounds so boomer, right? Fuck, I knew it.
and you can
There's no way to not sound boomer.
You'll
saying
find
Facebook.
events too on Facebook.
But yeah, you can find events,
true.
but most especially groups for different communities. That said, I am part of the South African expat community, but I haven't met anyone from the group. Like we've never said, "Hey, who wants to meet up?"
Yeah.
People do that. I've never done that. I've met people in that group randomly, perchance, but I've never been like, "Hey."
Yeah, they kind of the same thing with our League of Legends group. Like we had a Facebook page, and people would join the chat from the Facebook.
That's
page
actually how I
sometimes.
joined.
that's how I found it too.
Yeah.
But
But
nothing
you
happens
use
on the
Facebook.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
Not
It's a way to
that much
find your way.
anymore.
Facebook is a good way to find your way into the Kakao chat.
yeah.
Yes.
But the Kakao chat is usually where most like events and plans happen. So if
Mm.
you're coming to Korea or you're planning to come to Korea, highly recommend finding like a Kakao group chat that has people in it.
So cacao is the king.
Yeah, Kakao is king. Better than Instagram.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, we never said it wasn't. We just
We
said,
did last week.
No, we,
We just said what we prefer.
no, we said we
What
would
we
prefer
prefer,
to
message.
talk to someone for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
and send reels.
It's in
Reels,
reels.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how we communicate. Sometimes it's just nothing being said. So like 5 reels, and then I send my 5.
Yeah.
Not a.
You know one thing I hate though? When Brian doesn't like my reels.
Well, I always liked them. I
You
like
No,
that
you
about
know
you.
why
You're
it
good at-
is?
you're good
No,
at-
no.
I like
The
that
reason
about
why
us.
it is because sometimes like I'm at work and then I get sent like 10 reels and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll look at them later and then I just forget. That's
This
why.
guy.
This hurts.
I tailored them for you.
Me too.
I look
Yeah,
at them and
but
I'm like,
sometimes-
this one's only for Brian's
You know,
eyes.
sometimes it's the wrong timing. That's all.
I just want to say, Brian, you're no longer top of my list.
My favorite
I think
is,
Dogger's on top of mine.
He's on mine too. No.
my favorite has been Dogger sends me a reel, and then like 2 minutes later, Bryant sends me the same reel. Because I'm like, okay, Dogger, real hoe over here, sending his reels out to everyone.
Hey,
He's
sometimes,
selecting multiple when he sends
sometimes, not always.
hoe.
A real.
I mean, racist ones I only sent to James.
I send them to James
I sent
too.
it to James as well.
I do too.
Lauren actually asked me, she was like, why'd you always send the racist one to James? I was like, look.
Yeah, I send
Look.
them to James too. I see the most fucked
He's
up
the
racist
one.
thing and it's like, James.
That's
He's
always
gonna
him.
like this.
Yeah. That's always him. Yeah. So, anything else about Friends that you want to add? Oh, I think this is just like a speed round, but any don'ts.
Ah.
Wait, before we get into
Yes.
that, I have a better idea.
Okay.
If you want to come,
Bell.
If you want
That
to come,
too.
okay, I'm ready.
no, exactly. No,
If you wanna
if
come?
you want to, if you want to come to Korea
Ah, okay.
and you want to meet some friends, leave us a comment and then meet up with us.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
And if
hang
you
out.
only-
That
and if
sounds
you only wanna-
dangerous.
no, I was gonna say, and if you only want to meet Hunter, you can.
Oh yeah, true.
Or if you don't want to meet Hunter,
Yeah, then we'll hang
anything
out.
can happen.
Yeah,
We're
Sounds
down to
kinda-
hang out with our fans
Hell yeah.
yeah.
while we're still small.
Oh, this man.
Whoa.
This guy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't,
You're
whoa.
small.
You're small, I'm big.
So you were saying don'ts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
any
don'ts.
any don'ts that you've discovered in terms that you just, and I guess this is a bit more Korea specific. So each culture is different. Have you picked up on any don'ts where once maybe you've in your culture it's okay, but
Don't
your
hug
Koreans-
Korean people the first time
Yeah.
you meet them.
Ah,
Don't say hi with a kiss.
Yeah. Don't give
Throw
a
back to
kiss on
our,
the cheek.
throw back to the dating episode. Yeah, maybe don't hug. Yeah.
What else?
as a South African, a big one was to learn to not touch people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
Like,
for me.
And it sounds weird, but like even just a shoulder touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was South Africans love talking like this, and we always do this. And there was once this dude.
This
at-
being tapping
yeah,
the
just
person
tapping
on the
you know,
shoulder.
just tapping
Audio
the-
listeners.
Oh, so, thank you, Hunter. I always forget about those homies, but I never forget about them in my heart.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just how we speak, and I do it with everyone, men, women, just doesn't matter, right? But at the language exchange event once, there was this guy, and he just started telling people, "Be careful about Brandon. He touches people," and then he left it there. And I was like, "What the fuck? You don't just say that." I was like, "This is just messed up." And right before I went to confront this guy, one of my friends, she's also African. She just went up to him. She was like, she gave it to him, and I was like, but I was just like, "That's so messed up. You just say it like that."
He probably didn't mean it.
I know you
in a
didn't
mean
mean
way,
it that way,
but-
but I was like,
Kind of sounds like
it's-
it though.
but
Yeah.
if you say be careful, you do kind of mean it like that. I was just
Yeah,
like,
true,
that's so
true.
weird. What kind of weird vibe is that? You know? So then I was like, oh, Koreans, whatever.
Yeah. And we've talked about in the past actually that like once you become friends, Koreans are very like touchy.
Oh no, yeah.
Especially
Once-
like
yeah.
even guy to guy, like not in like a weird way, but
Yeah.
like
No, guy to guy is the biggest touch.
yeah.
It sounds weird, no, but
It does. But once you're friends, like then you can kind of expect that to happen. Like once you become friends with a Korean, especially if you're a guy and they're a guy, like don't be alarmed if they do like
hold your hand.
hold your hand or put
Kiss.
your arm
Or
around you
the biggest one that got me by surprise is when they put their palms together and then they just ram it up your ass. I thought that was the weirdest thing I ever experienced. And I'm like, excuse me? And they're like, no, it's like a thing we do when we're kids. And I'm like, oh, okay. Still, please don't.
But you have ever been dongjimmed?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
you?
Oh, God. I mean,
fun.
now
Never
I'm
had
okay
that
with
happen,
it.
but
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Any don'ts that you've experienced?
No, other than the same as you, I think nothing else really. I mean, I'm pretty like chill when it comes to meeting people, so I don't know.
yeah, for me it's probably just the hugging part because Icelandic people are very huggy when they meet, even if new people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate that little awkward bow you do when you meet.
High five, shake hand.
That's actually become a part of me as well. Like even when I went back home, like meet someone and I wouldn't come close for the kiss on the cheek, and instead I would just be like, oh hi, nice to meet you, like with a little bow, like a little nod of the head.
Yeah, to be fair, I've become like kind of like that too.
Yeah. And actually it's really weird too, because when I go back home I'm less touchy than the people back home as well. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't like it anymore as much.
Says the guy who talked about playing gay chicken.
Hey, those are my best friends, which incidentally you guys talked about like meeting your best friends in middle school.
Yeah.
One of them I did meet in middle school, the other one from elementary school.
Yeah.
So
Korea's right.
yeah, so we definitely play gay chicken all the
I mean,
time.
there's nothing wrong with it. My only point was that it's just hard to like become that level of friends with someone. Yeah, and I guess it's not just the Korean thing either.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's easier. Like I feel like you guys are just as much at the same level as friends as my best friend in America.
Shut
Like-
your mouth. We obviously better. We higher.
I mean, there's only so much. Like,
No,
there's-
he's gotta come here to get it.
He will one day.
Yeah.
But that's probably because we have, I mean, not same experience, but similar experiences being foreigners here.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah,
Being
blah.
those foreign guys.
Those foreign
Those
guys.
foreign guys.
Like that bell.
Flick that bell. Pull out the reviews.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Before we end here, we do want to read a review that someone left on our Spotify from my friend Rachel.
our friend Rachel.
Our friend Rachel. Sorry.
Hi Rachel.
And if
Hey,
you
Rachel.
also want your review to be read, we'll read them at the end of the show.
Is that your wolf-loving friend?
my wolf-loving friend?
No
Yeah.
man, that's my
That's
friend.
Oh,
his
that's
wolf,
your
yeah.
friend. Ah.
This is
Her name
Rachel.
is-
She's we used to work together back in America at the news station. But she watches every episode.
She does.
She leaves a lot of comments.
Nice. Thank
These
you.
comments
Thank you.
a lot.
Real fan. But yeah, if you also want yours to be read at the end of the episodes, leave us something on Spotify or on Apple Music. So Rachel says, very short, very sweet. I just want Bryant to say more things in Spanish. Heart eye emoji.
Oh.
She said, actually, I just love listening to you four guys who seem to genuinely like each other, shoot the shit, and talk about Korea. Great job, guys. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Rachel.
Hey
There
baby.
you go.
Muchas gracias.
Oh, I got a little hot from that.
What does that mean, eh? I love you?
No.
I know what it means. Don't worry.
It's the most common expression.
It really is.
Oh yeah, the girl, I met someone this week and they speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And I said like, oh, I know some Chinese, and they were like, oh, what do you know? And I was like, Piao Lang,
What did you say?
right? Piao Lang.
Oh my god, it just got worse.
How did it get worse?
Someone explain, please.
It's supposed to be beautiful, but it's
Yeah.
so wrong.
Yeah, he said it's so wrong.
And then I also said, Ni hao, xie xie, and Waini. Those are the four. She was like, you literally only know how to say hello, you're pretty, I love you. And I was like, that's all I need to know.
Those are my first 4 Korean words.
You know what my first Chinese words were? I don't have it, I don't want it.
Wait.
Because in China, you'll have a lot of people like come up and try to sell shit to you,
Yes.
or like take something. So I don't want it, or selling too, or sometimes like people will ask you for money or something and be like, oh, I don't have it. Right away, first 2 words. I don't have it. I don't want it.
How do you say it?
I don't have it is mayo, and I don't want it is buyao.
I had some mayo this morning.
I hate mayo.
Get me out.
Get that shit
Get me
out.
How
out.
can you hate mayo,
Mayo.
when you're
I
white?
hate it.
Get me out. Like, you keep talking, do it. He does what I like. Subscribe. Come on, doggy, your turn.
Sign us off.
Sign us off. Get us out of here.
Leave me the bell.
So yeah, thank you guys. Like the video. Subscribe.
Flick
Check out
the
our
bell.
Patreon if you want to see more. And don't forget to
Flick the bell.
And in this week's Patreon, or this month's Patreon episode, I forgot. This is how we gotta change something.
Yeah?
We gotta change.
Okay.
We need to start teasing things at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
he likes teasing.
Oh yeah.
So this month, I have texted all of your girlfriends.
I don't have. Oh, my girlfriend?
Yeah,
Oh.
all of your girlfriends.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute.
And I asked them some questions about you guys, and I'm gonna reveal those answers now on the Patreon. So if you're interested, check out our Patreon.
Only $5 a month.
$5 a month for our bonus episode. But
Exciting.
until the next
Stressful.
time, until the next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.